Wet the Billionaire. Chapter 2. Tears fell from her eyes. This is not the sight any child should behold. A dying mother and a drained father. Men her dad's age were still young and agile. He was in his late 40s but looked like he was in his late 60s. Both of her parents were still young back then, when they still had the family business. Her parents were the perfect definition of a power couple. They stood by each other in everything. Her dad and mom looked like they were in their 20s. Some of her friends back in college always doubted they were her parents whenever they came to visit her in school. Now just look at them. Tears streamed down her cheeks like a waterfall. She wished she could do anything. The doctor walked in and met her lost in her thoughts. He shook his head in pity and tapped her. She jerked a little but calmed down when she saw it was her friend. Dr. Tim, he had always helped her in any little way he could, so she was very free with him. You just have to understand that if it isn't her time to go, she's going nowhere. But if otherwise is the case, then you just have to be strong, he said in a soft tone so as not to wake up the sleeping man and his wife. Amanda nodded calmly, wiping away her tears. They stepped outside to talk better. Is it really that bad? She asked, hoping for better news. I can't tell. I'm not the one in charge of her case. But I did take a look at her file and all I can say is that she really needs that surgery as soon as possible. If her other kidney fails as well, then I'm afraid she might not make it, and by the appearance of things, it's already happening. She's already finding it hard to breathe, Dr. Tim explained calmly. Finding a kidney donor was difficult for us when we had money, but now that we're completely broke it would be near impossible, Amanda lamented bitterly. Dr. Tim sighed sadly. He wished he could help the young lady, but he just didn't have the financial capability to. Why don't you take her home? The more she stays here, the more your bills pile up. Don't worry about the payment for the oxygen tank. I will be able to clear it in the first 3 days. At least that's enough for you to figure something out. Amanda flew into his arms immediately, crying loudly and thanking him profusely at the same time. Dr. Tim laughed at her childish behavior, but didn't push her off. Amanda always made him feel like he had a sister, something he had always wished for. He gently placed her down and gestured at her mom's ward. I'd go prepare your discharge slip and get you a taxi. Go get her prepared. The oxygen tanks will be delivered to your home tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for Chapter 3.